We're just getting ready to fly to Amsterdam to visit the Diabeter in Rotterdam.
We're going there to see all of the work to do to help people with type 1 diabetes.
Okay, let's get ready to go. So we're finally here at the Diabeter clinic in Rotterdam.
Hi, welcome.
So what is it you wanted to achieve by the founding of Diabeter?
In the hospital situation, we were kind of stuck in a system. And one of the most important things we couldn't do in a hospital to get into a good IT system. Because hospitals have their own IT system and the diabetes world is moving so fast that we need our own IT system. So by going away from the hospital, we could actually do what we want and build what we needed just around the patient and just around the care.
Is this more expensive than the traditional clinic?
If you really look at costs, what it costs to service a patient here in Diabeter or service a patient in Scotland, I think it's basically the same. We might be even a little cheaper right now, but that depends on how you deal with pumps, etc. By doing a smart way of technology, by using the time of a nurse and a doctor really for the interaction with the patient, you can actually even do more with your personnel than we did in the past.
So why do you think it's important to get access to psychological services early on in diagnosis?
The first year after diagnosis is quite a hectic year. I mean, a lot of changes are going on and a lot of families go into a kind of survival mode to get all the things, the practical things. There's also a questionnaire that we're introducing now that taps into a lot of different areas where you can encounter psychosocial problems. Focus is not always on getting an optimal HbA1c, but doctors and nurses also know, well, sometimes there are other priorities in your life. There's always the opportunity to discuss this and to see how diabetes fits into your life at that particular stage.
I think it can be really easy for some of us to say, oh no, there's massive disparity in care between Scotland and the Netherlands, but then even small steps like questionnaires that the Diabeter try and put in place can make that massive difference in somebody feeling motivated enough to say, right, I can manage my diabetes because I feel like I'm being listened to, I feel like I'm getting enough advice in my hospital appointments that, you know, it's tailored around me.
So I do hear a lot of people in Scotland talking about worrying about going to clinic because of judgment, like that the HbA1c will be too high or they're eating the wrong things or like that. Like, do you worry about talking about that sort of thing to your healthcare professionals? Or
they have so many young people, so they know that everyone goes out partying at night or drink alcohol.
I don't know how it is in other hospitals, but here it's about you and then your diabetes.
Do you feel like you know your healthcare professionals, like you have a relationship with them?
Yes, friends, family, something like that.
It feels familiar and really comfortable
to
be here.
How flexible are the clinic times in Scotland?
Not very. So you're talking at least once a month, that you know, every one Wednesday a month, for example, you're coming to some clinics, and it doesn't always fit in with people's lifestyles. But then again, if you can't come to that one Wednesday of the first month, then you've got potentially another 3 months to wait.
3 months?
3 months.
I thought...
Yeah, two or 3 months. Like, unless you went back to your own GP, for example, but then the GP isn't as skilled in diabetes, so...
If we have an appointment with like 2 or 3 people, they know exactly what we've told in the first conversations. So.
And they can also look back at it to see what we discussed last time, to see if that worked or if that didn't work, or then in the emergency situation, they can access those files as well. Between those 3 or 4 months that we have the face-to-face appointments, we've been emailing, we've been doing uploads, sometimes every 2 weeks, sometimes once a month. So it's basically just kind of to discuss the last 2 to 4 weeks, because in the meantime you've been discussing all the other things. So if there's a big problem, I will email them beforehand. But usually if it's a big problem, we will already have fixed it before we see each other face to face, just because you don't want to wait so long to have it fixed.
It's good that this place actually exists, so we're not just pushing hypothetical ideas. We're not saying you could do this, we're saying this is happening, people are doing this, and so that will help us to push these ideas in Scotland and get people on board.
You hear too often about diabetes burnout within the first year or two and you need to do as much as you can to combat that. It's not just the physical side of diabetes, even though we talk about it just as much.
What I said, it's not about the numbers, but it's about you.
But I see a very great future if we work together to improve diabetes care in both countries.